Yo, what's up, everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another amazing episode here on the Train Elder Sean podcast. Yo, so today we have an incredible episode. I cannot wait to share it with you all. I cannot wait to share with you the one plan fits all training split. Now, before we even dive into this, before we even explain what this is, a training split is how you are training throughout your week, right? You got 7 days in a week. What is your training split in those days? I want to talk about this specifically because I've been getting asked a lot actually on Instagram. I've been getting messages on Facebook, like and you guys too, everyone who's been going into the show notes and emailing our email so that we can get your questions answered. That's awesome. I'm so happy that you all are doing that and taking full advantage of that. That's freaking dope, and you should take advantage of it. That's how you get your questions answered. But I've been getting asked, what is the most ideal training split? Like, how, if you are trying to, build muscle, shred fat, whatever you're trying to do, you're trying to be, just physically just create that physique and get to that aesthetic side and that symmetrical side that you want, or even just performance wise, or whatever you're trying to do, right? What is the best training split for you? Now, the one plan fits all training split is non-existent. All right. And I know you're here right now, like, dude, I cannot wait to hear what this is. Like, it's gonna be freaking sick. Like, what is it? Because now I can do it and I can share it with my friends and they can do it and all these other people can do it. And like, they finally have figured out what it is that we can all do to achieve progress all as one. And that's not going to happen. And there's not going to be one that's going to be there. So stop searching what is the best plan for me, or what is the best fit, one plan fits all ideal training split that I'm going to be able to get results with. You're going to need to figure out what it is that you need to do and how your body is reacting towards stimulation that you create inside of your workouts. A training split is how many times you are training a specific muscle group, a specific strategy, a specific system throughout your week. Monday, like, this is the most basic generic thing. Monday, chest tries. Tuesday, back buys. Freaking Wednesday, legs, shoulders. Thursday, repeat, maybe some cardio. Friday, do it again. And like, this is a very simple training split that was the most basic one that I did whenever I was 13. I first started out, the most generic basic training split. And all that is doing is you're moving a primary mover, right? A primary muscle group, which is your chest, right? If you're doing chest and tries, your primary muscle group that moves the weight is your chest. The secondary muscle groups that are helping the chest move that weight is your triceps, even shoulders as well, obviously core too. But the highest on that list for secondary is your tricep. So in theory, whenever you're pushing weight and you're pushing on bench, dumbbell, fly, whatever it is, the tricep is also there to help and assist that primary muscle group move. And with that being said, that is also being warmed up. So whenever you go and train that muscle group, the secondary one, then now you are already pretty warmed up and the primary muscle group is already depleted, or it's already hit its peak. And then now you're going to deplete the secondary muscle group. And that's the basic kind of definition or breakdown of what that split is. Same thing with your back, right? Whenever you're pulling, your bicep is also helping the back, or helping the lat, the rhomboids, the traps do these specific movements so that you can, whenever it comes down to the extremity portion, which is your arm, it's going to pull that secondary muscle group so that your primary muscle group can do majority of the work. But then whenever you go down to training your bicep, then your biceps already warmed up from all the pulls, all the rows, all the pull downs, whatever it is that you're doing. Now, you can test this theory by exhausting the secondary muscle group first. So exhaust your triceps and then try to push like 80% of your bench press and try to do it. Like, it's hard because that secondary muscle group, which is a stabilizer, which is the one that assists you in moving that weight, is depleted and it's done, it's tired. So that is the most basic kind of, split that you could do. But there are multiple ways that you can create a variety of different types of training splits. Now, I want you to answer certain questions first about what you truly want. Number one, what do you want to do? Like, what are some goals and things that you want to achieve? Do you want to have, muscularity? Do you want to have vascularity? Do you want to shred fat? Do you want to do just the generic bodybuilding type? Do you want to build muscle, shred fat? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to be an athletic performer, right? Do you want to be better in your sport? Do you want to be faster, more explosive, more powerful? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to be just an average, regular, healthy being that just likes to train, likes to lift, wants to be healthy and have, a good physique because they do train and they do eat well and they do rest. Just want to be nice and healthy, but have a nice body as well. What is it that you're trying to do? There are so many different ways that you can do it. And then you got to think about your lifestyle, your schedule. Think about how you can throw, because sometimes people can't even make time for going to the gym. So, what are your other options? Do you have to do home workouts? Do you have to buy a pair of dumbbells? Do you have to buy a kettlebell? Do you have to do workouts at home? Do you have to do only aesthetic movements, right? Excuse me, aesthetic, calisthenic movements, body weight movements. Do you have to do just these things because you have no time for something else? And this can go with guys and girls. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is for both y'all. Okay, people want to build muscle as females. People want to shred fat as females. People want to build muscle as males, shred fat as males. There's sports that have women and men in them, bodybuilding, female, male based. There's so many different things that we all do. We all do it together as human beings, right? But you need to understand what you want to do. What do you have time for? What can you allow in your schedule so that you can make this happen? Because the biggest thing is that we think that we need to be in the gym to get progress. And because of that reason, we can no longer follow that freaking YouTube legend or YouTube influencer that says, hey, make sure you do this split. This is how you're going to build your chest. This is how you're going to build bigger arms. But you don't have time to get to a gym because you have a life, a business, 5 kids, a husband, a wife, family, whatever it is that you have to withstand and balance inside your life. So you don't have time to go to the gym, but you do have time to do a workout at home. You do have time. If you had a little bit of equipment at home to do certain things, you could do it. Now, after you have that done and that fixed and that scheduled out, you now know what you want to do, what your goal is. Now you kind of figured out how you can put time inside your schedule. Now, after you have dialed in and analyzed your week, okay, what in that week, if you are working, let's say you have time to work out and train 5 days out of that week, which is ideal, perfect, that's great. And those 2 days you want to use for a rest, for active rest. Okay. You want to split that up so you can give your body time. And you absolutely need the time to recover. All right. Recover is going to be with time that you spent off and the time that you spend eating well to nourish your body to grow and progress to where you want to be at. Those 5 days that you're training, what do you want to do? What do you have time to do? If you're working out at home, you can stimulate the system just as much if you're training in the gym. If you want to do body weight workouts, push-ups, air squats, jump squats, plyometric stuff, explosive stuff, some sprints, maybe you have a pull-up bar, ways to do pull-up. You can do pyramids, you can do handstand push-ups against the wall to kind of stimulate the shoulders. There's so many different ways that you can still stimulate the body. Okay. And depending on what you're doing at home, how are you feeling the next day? This is where you self analyze your system, self analyze how your body is reacting to the stimulation that you're providing it. Whenever you feel your body and you are moving around the day after and you feel a little bit of tension, a little bit of soreness, soreness is delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS for short. Okay. What that is the next day, whenever you are sore, why is it the next day? It's because your body has broken down and the delay is the 24-hour period or the 18 or 16-hour period for you to actually feel that muscle soreness. Now, depending on how intense that muscle soreness is, it depends on, well, that's basically how much breakdown you had. So if you are extremely sore, your breakdown was just overwhelming, it was too much, and your body is broken down, and now it needs more time to recover, which means that your soreness can be there for a little bit longer. Now, people who have been training for a while, this is why that muscle soreness doesn't last that long. Or people who are brand new, it's your first day, this is why your leg day has been like wrecking your legs for the past 7 days, because that delayed onset muscle soreness was too extreme and you didn't have enough nourishment either there already present, and you're not nourishing your body or recovering your body as fast as it needs to. And simply just because the breakdown was just too extreme, too intense, stimulation was way too high, right? This is why you don't always have to go to muscle failure. You don't always have to push your body to the fullest extreme. I have to feel that burn. I have to feel to like where the muscle's about to tear. I got to get that pump so strong to build muscle. You don't always have to be there. You can feel the stimulation. You can get that burn sensation. You can get all the lactic acid buildup in there. There's a lot of things that you can still do to still get the progress that you want. But going back to where we started, creating your split depends on what you want to do, what you're allowed to do, like your training schedule, like how many times a week can you do it, right? So if you can only do 5, then one day is going to be upper body. Let's say you can only do home workouts. One day is upper body. Next day is lower body. Third day, maybe doing some high intensive interval training and core exercises, more explosive. And then the fourth day, maybe you're just doing a sprint 10 rounds, like you're just doing that. And then the fifth day, you want to do a full body because your body feels good. You're ready to roll. So you're doing upper body, lower body, core. You're kind of combining everything here. And your sixth day, if you want to have an active rest day, which is basically you're doing something active like a walk or a hike or maybe a bike ride, but it's not specific towards training. You're just doing more movement. And then that seventh day, you want to be completely rested. Then it's just a complete rest day. Have fun with your family, hang out with your friends. If you have time to actually go to a gym and you have the 5 days where you figured out you can go to the gym and work out for an hour, then you can do multiple different variations of your training splits. Monday can be the basic chest and tries, or it can be chest, shoulders, or it can be chest, shoulders, tries. Like there's so many different ways you can do it. What I like to do, because if I want to be more efficient in my time, this is how I would split my stuff up. I do a primary mover and I don't train the secondary muscle group that helps that primary mover. I do the other secondary muscle group that helps the other primary mover. For example, chest, biceps, back, triceps, shoulders. That's what I do. Why? Because I can superset these things. I could blow my chest, right? I can chest press, I can chest fly, I can bench press, I can do any machine there. I can do push-ups, I can really just destroy my chest. And at the same time, as soon as I'm done with that set, I can go and I can blow up my biceps. I can go and I can do drop sets on biceps. I can do crazy eights. I can do all this stuff because the bicep is not assisting is not assisting with my pushes. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. The arm is still stabilizing. Like it's still having to work. The bicep still works a little bit whenever you do push because it has to stabilize the elbow. Right. But other than that, it is not truly assisting in any sort of pushing motion that you use whenever you're doing your pushes. If you're doing bench press, your bicep is not really activated just for elbow stabilization. And same thing with shoulder. Right. But that's how you can be more efficient with your time. You want to get an extreme breakdown. There you go. Blow the chest and then go ahead, blow your biceps. And the next day, you got back, triceps, same thing. Triceps don't really work whenever you are doing any pulling motion, but they are still there to stabilize the elbow, stabilize the shoulder, and be there to assist in mobility, in movement. But you can do lat pull downs and then go right into a tricep push down. There's so many different variations. And then you can also crush your legs and your shoulders. And then don't also think that you have to do legs all together. You need to also analyze where your weaknesses are. If you have weak hamstrings and you know that, you can throw in your hamstrings with the chest day. You can throw in your hamstrings with the pull day, with your back, right? Deadlifts, right? There's so many different ways you can do this. If your quads are a little bit weaker, maybe you're more hamstring glute dominant, work on those quads on a chest day. Throw in that quad workout, do some quad extensions, do some front squats, some goblet squats, really dominate and crush those quads on that day. Yes, you're going to work a little bit of glute. Yes, you're going to work a little bit of hamstring, but you're going to be more focused on the quadriceps. So after you're done there, then Tuesday comes around, then you can break it down and do the hamstrings and an upper body muscle group. See, there's so many different variations. The only thing you want to watch out for are secondary muscle groups that help that primary mover. So, for example, like we said, that chest, right? If you're doing chest and biceps and your biceps are too sore for any pulls, you will also notice that your pulls aren't going to be too affected by it, but they can be affected by it because the biceps are sore. So maybe your pulls are going to be a little bit weaker. So that's something you need to also keep in mind and understand. All right. So whenever you're getting one muscle group sore, that secondary muscle group is going to be a little bit tired for the next day whenever you're utilizing the actual primary mover that uses that specific secondary muscle group to do that specific movement. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So what kind of training split should you do? What should you choose? Look at your body. Analyze who you are. Analyze what you're able to do. Analyze your goals. Analyze what you have time for and understand that muscle growth and athletic performance, they're different. You can do multiple different things in athletic performance. They use different muscle fibers. They're using and recruiting different things, different muscle groups. Okay, if you're doing regular bodybuilding, nice simple movements, then you're just depleting that muscle group in that specific movement and breaking down as much as you can. If you're doing athletic performance, you're working out in different movement planes. You're working out in different scenarios. Okay, you're doing more plyometric. You're not really loading too much weight. You're focusing more on the angle of action, the angle of movement, angle of gravity, as you could say. Like if you're doing a squat, it's going straight down, you're going straight up, right? So if you want to focus more on that as an athletic performer, as a sports athlete, then that's what you're doing, right? You want to be ready for the worst scenarios in any sort of sport, because sports are unpredictable sometimes, right? Whenever you come up on a layup or something like that, or a dunk, or you're gonna go catch a football and you come down, you need to understand that you could get hit, you could land somewhere weird. You're gonna have to maybe jump further. Maybe you're gonna have to account for this and do this and that. Not everything's gonna be a perfect scenario. So that's what you're doing whenever you're an athletic performer, right? You're training core a lot. You're doing a lot of endurance, cardio, explosive exercises. And you're also having time allotted for just strength training. Nice, good recovery too. If you're a power lifter, how are you breaking up your powerlifting lifts throughout your week? Are you doing Monday power cleans, deadlifts, and then Tuesday bench press, shoulder press? Like, are these different things that you're doing? Wednesday, you're focusing on all the little muscle fibers that you utilize in the joint movements whenever you do the power clean, whenever you do your deadlifts. Are you working on your extensions, right? Are you working on your erectors for your spine? Are you doing these specific things to make sure that whenever you do the lift, you are in the most powerful and most proper form possible to utilize and do that lift? Like, are these things that you're doing inside your week, right? That's how you can split it up. It's as simple as, what do you want to do? Okay, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to gain muscle? Do you want to build muscle? Whatever it is, right? Why do you want to do it? Okay, that's always a big thing. I always talk about why. You should always understand why you want to do something. And then three, how much time do you have? Are you going to be at home? Are you going to be in the gym? Do you have time to do that? Do you have time to do this and that? Prioritize your health, but you have to make time for the rest of the things that need you as well, right? But you also have to make time for yourself as well. So, how many times of the week can you train? Even if you can go to the gym twice a week and you have to work out at home 3 times, that's still 5 days a week that you're training. Then do upper body on one day, do lower body on the other. And in between, you're doing high intensive interval training workouts that involve explosive movements, sprints, plyometrics. Then you have other breakdowns where you're doing just calisthenic work, push-ups to failure, pull-ups, air squats, stuff like that, lunges, right? There are so many different variations of ways that you can do something. But what you don't want to do is do like a leg day on Monday and a leg day on Tuesday and a leg day on Wednesday and a sprintathon on Thursday. Like, it's just too much legs. It's too much breakdown. You're having too much breakdown to the point to where you cannot recover as fast enough to progress to where you want to be at. Same thing with the upper body. You can't do arms every day, guys. You can't do it. All right. You can't do chest every day either, dude. All right. You're going to have to do other things. Let the chest recover. Give it 2 days at least, then come back and crush it again. Right. There's so many different ways that you can do your training split. You can do a training split, and I highly recommend you stick to one for at least, I would say 4 weeks, 6 weeks. See how your body's changing. See if your weight is going up. See if you're seeing, different transitions. See if you're seeing yourself getting stronger. If nothing is happening, then adjust. If you have not been consistent and disciplined to your training split, figure something out. Maybe you don't have time to go to the gym. Maybe you do have time to go to the gym, but after a long day at work and being with the kids and the wife or whatever, you're tired. It'd be easier for you to do a workout at home. So transition to doing a workout at home. There are so many different ways that you can do this, guys. Like, you don't always have to be in a gym to get results. You don't always have to be that juice head or that freaking meat head in the gym that has to be behind a barbell or dumbbells to get some sort of progress. You can absolutely do all these amazing things from the convenience of your own home with this amazing body that you were given. And if you have limitations, there's ways to work around that. There's tons of different modifications to do an air squat. There's tons of modifications to do a push up. There's tons of modifications to do something. The only thing that's stopping you is yourself. Just because there's no one plan fits all, no one perfect split. Maybe you've tried different like training styles and you just don't like them. Okay. It could be because of the training split. It could be because of things that you've been trying that just don't correlate with yourself. Dive into different things. If you've been doing powerlifting, but you don't like it, try bodybuilding. If you don't like bodybuilding, just be a regular person that wants to be healthy, enjoy fitness, and do this and that. Power clean every now and then, bench press every now and then, do biceps to failure every now and then do a hit workout at the park every now and then. If that's what you want to do, be involved in that. Whatever is making you a better human being, a better person for yourself and for the people around you, for your company, for your business, for your school, your education, your relationships, whatever it is, be there and be present. All right. It's not that hard to figure out a training split. And obviously, getting a coach is always going to be the best situations because we obviously live in this world. We have had different types of people we've coached. All from my example, or for me, and it was my experience. I've had people in the medical field, people in oil and gas, people in produce, retail, have had people, throughout different types of industries that have different types of schedules that also have a family or don't have a family or are going to school full time, or working night shifts. Like there's so many different people that have different scenarios. They all need different splits. Sometimes people work out with me twice a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a week. Sometimes people are just training with me online. There's so many different things that people are doing because there's all sorts of ways to attack a goal. If you find a plan online, something that you got for free, cool, follow that split, see what happens, but don't rely on that thing forever. Your body is going to change. Your life is going to change. The schedule is going to change. Your environment is going to change. There's a lot more to just your training split than there is with anything else. Your training split is just what you're creating time for. You still have to eat well. You still got to rest well. You still have to be there for yourself mentally and physically, emotionally, spiritually, all those things. Your body's going to change if you're giving it what it needs. Your body only needs stimulation. It only needs some sort of tension or breakdown or resistance to build muscle. Your body only needs these things. It needs proper nutrition, needs proper rest to recover and build good tissue, good healthy tissue. And it only needs a caloric deficit to really focus on dropping body fat, on dropping weight. That's all these things need. That's all your body needs, ladies and gentlemen. It's not as complex as we make it. It's not as difficult as it seems. There is no one plan fits all. And I've said it before, and I said it in the last episode. I'll say it again. I'll say it always and forever. You need to find what's sustainable in your life. If you are seeing people around you that are following the carnivore diet, but you don't think that you can do it, I'm not saying don't try it. Okay, if that's what you want to do, you want to try and give it a shot, then go ahead. But if you know that you don't like all meats or you don't like certain meats, or you just don't think you can eat a lot of red meat and this and that, and you don't think it's going to be sustainable for yourself, even after you've tried it, then it's not going to be sustainable for you. Same thing with the keto diet. If you like carbohydrates and you thrive off these certain things, and you've been training a certain way, but you want to drop a little bit more fat, or maybe you want to just drop weight overall, but you want to try this, go ahead and try it. If it's not sustainable for you, it's not going to be sustainable for you. You're not going to continue to create results. If powerlifting is something that you wanted to try because you wanted to just be powerful and gain overall strength, and you tried it, but now you're feeling aches and pains and maybe this and that, then back down, work on your form, work on certain things that you need to work on for body imbalances, some limitations that you might have, and then come back at it, right? Don't be disappointed just because you're not getting results as fast as you want to because you're doing a certain training split or you're following a certain plan. There are millions of plans for a reason because there's millions of ways to attack a specific goal, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think of it as that being complex. Don't think of it as that being confusing for yourself. Think of it as multiple different options, multiple different trials that you can go through, either if it's errors or successes that you can go through to achieve the most optimal progress and results that you truly want for your body and health. All right, ladies and gentlemen, yo, check it out. This was an amazing episode. That was so good. I was just spitting out fire, guys. That was crazy. But hey, if I talked to you today, I gave you some sort of value, maybe educated you somehow, maybe inspired you somehow, motivated you. All I ask is you simply share it to your best friend, any gym buddy, your mom, dad, cousin, uncle, someone, nephew, niece, brother, sister, neighbor, some person you always say hi to at the store, and if you don't have their number, then I guess you could just stop and give them a conversation, say, hey, have you heard this episode from the Trying to Live Strong podcast? However you want to share this to people, that would be awesome because that's more lives we can all change together, ladies and gentlemen. And it only takes about a minute of your day, 10 seconds even. All right. Hey, you know how we do it over here. First of all, use this information, okay? Before I head out, use this information. Use everything that we give you all. Use all the benefits that we have in the show notes. Use all the benefits we have on the website. Use all the amazing guest speakers, self-experience and knowledge and stories that they want to share with you all. Use all that stuff for your advantage. All right. We've been through trials and errors. We've been through this and that. We've had bad life situations where it makes it almost impossible to even stay true to what we want to do, our programs and our businesses and our life and our health, but we still made it happen somehow. If that is related to you and you can relate to it, find how they did it. Find how we did it. Find out how these guest speakers have done it, how my solo episodes have done it. Like, think about these things and taking the information and implement, and just watch how you can take something and implement, how you can just fast track towards the goals that you want. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, once again, you know how we do it over here. Coach Matt, your host, and get out there, train hard, and live strong. Peace.